Salut tout le monde and welcome to this week's coffee time. I hope you've been having a good week, but if you haven't, that's okay. It's Friday, and so the weekend starts now. I didn't know what I was going to talk about this week, and then I made cinnamon rolls, and suddenly I knew exactly what I was going to talk about. Ta-da! They look gross because I added chocolate and I've eaten half of them, so they're really quite good, I promise. Something you should know about me is that I love cooking and baking. When I'm at my parents' house, I cook dinner like maybe 2 or 3 times a week, and I'm always trying new recipes and baking things in the kitchen. It's really fun. So when I'm at school or here in my homestay where most of my meals are cooked by my host mother, I still cook. I just cook for fun. I just find cooking to be an instant mood booster. Like, I was having a good day today, but then I made these cinnamon rolls and suddenly it was like a great day. And I think it's because so many of our memories are tied up with food. It can just be food can remind us of those memories. Food and cooking can trigger fantastic memories, and that's why it boosts my mood, just because I grew up in a family where we cooked a lot. Like, we didn't go out to eat. When I was in elementary school, we considered like going to Wendy's for dinner once a week a treat. So I really enjoy cooking things that are family recipes, or that aren't even family recipes. They're just things that I ate a lot at my parents' house, and it always makes you feel good. Like cinnamon rolls, for instance. At my house, they are what you have on Christmas morning, and then for like a week afterwards because you made so many. But that's like the one time a year we have cinnamon rolls, so they always make me think of family and Christmas. So I don't know, I make them not infrequently by myself. One of my other favorite things to make is pancakes, simply because they are so easy to make from scratch. One of the easiest things to make from scratch. They do not take long at all. I was actually surprised the first time I looked up a recipe and saw how easy it was, because my mom always made them. So for me, pancakes aren't an unusual breakfast thing. We had them every 2 weeks, so pretty frequently, but they're just, nothing's like a homemade pancake, you know? And they're just really fun to make. So yeah, cinnamon rolls and pancakes are the things that I've made the most this year. Thinking back, and I really do cook a lot of family recipes, which they're not even family recipes, they're just like recipes my mom made up. Like back in Athens, I made chicken fingers with my roommates because my mom makes chicken fingers very frequently because my family has a lot of weird dietary restrictions, so that's something that's very easy to make: gluten-free, soy-free, corn-free, just like free of all that stuff. And so I made them in Greece because they're really easy and they were a big hit, and it feels good to make family things like that, especially things that are really simple and really tasty. But my favorite class of things to make is definitely breads. For one, everyone thinks it's really hard, when it isn't always. It's just a lot of waiting. And again, growing up, my mom got a bread machine for Christmas when I was like 4 or 5, I don't know, and we've had one ever since. So fresh baked bread was not a rarity at my house. There's lots of different types of breads that my mom make, like holiday dinner rolls that we had like Easter and Thanksgiving and Christmas and all those things, and focaccia and challah bread, like just out of this like Breads of the World cookbook, and I absolutely loved them. We had focaccia like every month or so, and I'd get to put my toppings on, which was always salt and some dried rosemary, and it's just really great. And whenever we had like a school bake sale or something, I would have my mom bake bread and I would bring it in, and everyone always loved it. I brought it to potlucks and all that stuff. So I think that's probably why I like making bread so much, because it's something my mom was always making, and I don't know, everyone loves bread, you know? My love of cooking isn't just as simple as me being around it all the time, because my sister was also around it all the time, but she doesn't cook like at all. Like at Christmas we'll make Christmas cookies and stuff together, but I always take control because I am a baking control freak. This is something you should know about me. I'm very clear with my sous chef delegations, including to my mother. I will delegate her to be the sous chef often. I don't know where I thought I would go with this coffee time discussion. I just wanted to talk about baking, I guess, because it makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Which is kind of the point of coffee time, isn't it? This is so good. If you want to make it, just Google easy cinnamon rolls and then add cocoa powder to the filling. It's really fantastic. I'm loving it. My week was quite full of baking this week, so I made the cinnamon rolls today, and yesterday I had my French theater class, and it's a 3-hour class once a week, so we have every week someone brings something that they either made or that they bought, and we have a 10-minute break and we eat it, and it's really fun. So this week I made a red velvet cake, which wasn't a real red velvet cake because I could not find buttermilk anywhere, so it was more of just a chocolate cake, but it had a cream cheese frosting, which is like my favorite type of frosting ever. And I never buy cream cheese here because it's really expensive, but I did it for the class and it was really great, and it's like the first time I've had cream cheese in like, I don't know, 6 months, something like that, since the last time I made something involving cream cheese for school, which was for Thanksgiving, so it's been a while. So it was a week full of baking, and I feel like I've been extra happy this week, so I think that's why. Yep, so I just wanted to tell you guys about that, I guess. If you don't like baking or cooking, I'm sorry, that's too bad. But if you don't know how to bake or cook, I suggest you just get in there and try it and not be worried about the results, because I don't know, here especially a lot of my things go terribly wrong. Not terribly wrong, but like, since I make breads a lot, I make complicated breads frequently with American recipes, so the units are in cups and tablespoons and all that, and then I have things that are measured in grams, so I'm converting everything, and I'm like, I think that's right, but I don't know. So frequently it turns out to be wrong, or I confuse baking powder and baking soda because I can't find either of them, and I just use something called chemical yeast, which is sometimes baking soda and sometimes baking powder, but it's sold as the same thing. And I find yeast is much harder to work with here than in the US. So sometimes my breads end up almost inedible because the leavening agent was not what it said it was, or it needed to be in slightly cooler water for 5 more minutes or something like that. But what the hell was I talking about? Oh, right. So if you don't like to bake or cook, no, that's the wrong. So if you don't know how to bake or cook, just don't be worried about the results. Just cook for yourself, but have takeout nearby. Like, that's my advice. Like, don't say you're gonna throw your friends a dinner party and then expect to cook them like filet mignons right off the back. Just like say, I'm gonna make myself a stir fry or something. That's like the easiest thing to cook. You can't do it wrong. Just don't even worry about it. And just have a recipe and then do exactly what it says. And eventually you'll find out that you can cook, because it's just following directions. So you'll get the hang of it. Then maybe you'll even learn to like it. I apparently didn't have that much to talk about, just my overwhelming love of cooking things. And we're on YouTube. Like, there are some really great cooking videos on here. So I will leave that to you this weekend. Brunch is like my favorite thing to cook for, because you can make like anything for brunch. It's great. So that's what I have for you this week. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you were inspired to bake anything in the comments, or what your favorite thing to bake is. Something, just tell me I'm not the only one who likes baking bread for no reason. So I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday, but in the meantime, don't forget that you can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram at SoIrishCream, and that I have a blog, and please subscribe if you like these videos. Okay, gotta go. See ya.